All right. So everybody go ahead and mute yourself for now. And then I am going to get started. Okay. So we have 4 squares. They're not perfect squares, but that doesn't matter. So everyone take a second and go ahead and draw 4 squares on your paper. And I will give you just a second to do so, and then I will get started. And I would make them kind of big because you guys are going to be writing a bunch of stuff, okay? And I also want to note that this is going to kind of play off from what we did last time. So just keep that in the backs of your minds, okay? It's going to play off from that. So when we want to see success in something, guys, right? Usually you will create a goal that you want to see success in. Like, let's say I want to lose 20 pounds. That's your goal. All right. And then you will make a plan of action to make that goal happen. Okay. So what I'm going to teach you guys is about something called the success cycle. And you can write that down up top if you want so that you remember the success cycle. And your success cycle is also, you could call it, if you want, your momentum model. And so what we are going to focus on is turning our beliefs into results. So we talked last time about our ego self. Like I said, I named mine Gretchen, and she's negative and complaining and all of those things like we talked about, right? And then we have the self of ours that is our true self, or like the self that God thinks that we are, or says that we are, teaches us that we are, right? So this is going to be taking those beliefs that fit your real true self, right? So positive, happy, affirming beliefs, and turning them into results, okay? So the first thing, so you kind of work backwards at this, which I really like. The very first thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to start down here in this corner, and this is going to be for our results. So I want you guys to write results in the top of that box. And so now your results are, of course, going to be whatever you want. I don't want you guys to get stuck in if it's a realistic want, if it is a possible want. Like, let's say you want to be on the next Super Bowl halftime show. It doesn't matter if that's realistic or not, right? Let's just say that that's what you want. I want you guys to think big like that, okay? So it doesn't matter how silly it is, or if you're like, that would never happen, or look, don't get into any of that. I want you guys to just take a few minutes, and I want you to write down some results that you would like to see in your business or in your life, okay? And I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. But before you get started, I'm going to read you just a couple of things that I wrote down that are results that I think I would want. So the first thing that I wrote in all capital letters was diamond, right? Because I mean, that's a result that I want. I put owning a forever house. I put taking all of the kids and Bradley on a vacation to go fishing in Hawaii. I put taking Bradley to like a boat lot, like a car lot, but just saying like, pick out whatever boat you want, and like paying for it in cash. Like, I put all kinds of stuff down. I want you guys to take just a few minutes and write down, like, fill that square up, right, with some results that you would like to see. And they can be both in business and in life. And I'm going to give you guys just a couple of minutes to do that. And I'm going to put on some music for you to listen to while you do it. So go ahead and just start filling out that box, all the results, write a bunch of stuff in, okay? Waiting for my music here.
Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended.
Not Pampers. That was not it. I'm still waiting on ads. Sorry, guys. but I'll get you some, there we go, good music to listen to while you're writing some things down. Maybe. Like I said, do not get stuck on, could this really happen? How would this happen? I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm not rich enough. Whatever it is, it does not matter. I just want you to write down all the results that you want to see. It could be like, I want to be a size 3 and I want to be on the Super Bowl halftime show. Don't care. Whatever it is, just write it down, fill up your box. I'm going to give you guys just about another minute. It's okay if you don't fill up your whole box right now. You can come back to this later. This is just to get you started, all right? Another couple of seconds, guys, and then we're going to be done with this part. And Jen, that is all right. If you can't follow along good right now, there will always be the recording. All right. So I guys want you to pause there. I'm going to call on you by name, of course, because I like to do that. And I'm going to ask you to just tell me 2 things that you wrote down. Can be whatever. So Cass, can you unmute and tell me 2 things that are just any result, work or life that you want?
Build my own home
Okay.
and take mom to Hawaii.
Perfect. I love it.
Of course, diamond is first, but I figure you want to think other than diamond.
Because I think we all want that. So, Jen, I know that you said that you might not be able to follow along good, but if you can, do you want to go ahead and unmute and just tell me 2 results? And if not, I'll wait a second and that's okay.
Bring myself home to my kids so I don't have to work full time.
Oh, perfect. You have one more?
To be able to own a home.
Perfect. Just gonna put a second check by Cass's house. They're awesome. Okay, Rebecca, let's hear 2 results that you'd like in your life.
I want to go to Paris.
Ooh, I love that. What
And
else?
I want to take the kids wherever they want to go.
Okay. I'm just gonna put take kids anywhere. All right, Whitley girl, let's hear it. 2 things.
One, taking care of my husband's grandmother 100% financially.
Okay.
And 2, family vacations 4 times a year, but they each have to be a week long.
Woo! I love that. All right. So when you guys hear this list, we have diamond, build a house, own a house, go to Hawaii, come home full time, travel to Paris, take my kids anywhere, fully financially support my husband's grandma, and 4 vacations a year that are at least a week long. I want us to pause there because I know that your Gretchens and your Berthas, and I don't know you guys' other names, but Cass told me her name for her ego was Bertha and mine is Gretchen. So I know that those ladies are like, not you. You're never going to be able to afford that. That's not going to happen. You're not that special. Who the heck do you think you are? I literally want you guys to tell her to just shut up. Not hearing it. None of that matters because all we want right here is just to know the results. What results do we want? We are not thinking about how we get them. We are not thinking about if it's possible, if it's realistic, if we have the skills or the talent. Nope. This is just a list of what we want. And I want you guys to just sit here in this moment for just a second. Ask yourself, okay? I want you to say, self, what would it feel like if I had that? And what would it feel like if my friends here had that? Like, wow, if we were all diamonds and all going on 4 vacations a year and we all had built and owned our own houses and we were taking care of family and we were going to Paris and we didn't have to leave our kids anymore. I mean, could anything be better than that? So I just want you to sit and think of that excitement in your body that is like, yup, that's what I want. I'm certain of it, right? All right. And then from there, guys, how we get results always comes from actions, right? So I guys want you to write actions here. Now, there are different kind of actions. There are small actions, there are medium actions, there are large actions, and then there are extra large actions. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I put SMLXL, okay? So if your goal, like we talked about when we first started this call, was to lose 20 pounds, a small action would say, I'm going to eat healthy. Small actions are not very specific, right? And small actions, I mean, you could mean just eat healthy at your next meal only. You could mean eat healthy just for this week. You could mean I'm just going to snack on carrot sticks when I remember to. Eat healthy is pretty vague, right? So I want you to think of then, what would be an extra large action? What if you went right now on your phone and paid upfront for a 6-month non-refundable coach at a gym, personal trainer? Boom. That's an extra large action because you paid for it, you can't get your money back. It's 6 months long and you're kind of locked in or you wasted your money, right? So you're a lot more likely to follow through with, holy crap, I just paid for 6 months of a gym membership that's not refundable, so I gotta go or I lose it, than you are to stick long-term with, I'm gonna eat healthy, right? So I say that because I want you guys to know the difference between a small action and an extra large action. And then we're gonna come up here to this box and I want you guys to really think about it. I want you to write down just 2 extra large actions that you could do that would help you to get these results. So I don't want you to just say like, oh, I'll do my IPA. Okay, what, you're gonna do it today? You're gonna do it just tomorrow? You're gonna do it just this week? No, I want a big one-time thing that you can do that locks you in, that gets you there. Now, this could be, I'm gonna call up my super rich aunt on the phone that I've been avoiding talking to about Plexus because I know that if I really asked her and really explained to her the benefits, she would probably at least try it. And I know I've just been feeling nervous about it, but I need to get it out of the way whether she says yes or no, because I know if she said yes and she loved it, then she would tell all of her friends and I'd probably be diamond in a week, right? That could be an extra large action. An extra large action could be, I'm going to pay off my whole credit card rather than just the minimum balance. And I'm just going to go and I'm going to do it right now. And it's going to make money really tight and it's going to suck. But having less debt gets me a lot closer to owning my own house. So I'm going to give you guys just a second. And I want you to think of 2 one-time super big actions that you could do that would help you to get closer to those results. All right, and I'm going to put on a little music for you guys and give you a second. I really want you to think about it. I want you to think about what is a big, like a power move. What is a big thing that I could do that's just a one-time thing and it will make a huge difference. It could be signing up for a training. It could be making a phone call. It could be sending that email you've been avoiding sending. It could be reaching out to that list of people's names that just scares you a little bit. And you're like, boy, if I asked her to work with me and she said yes, she's so awesome. And I just know that she would end up being a diamond. So then I know that would help me get diamond. And I'm just too scared to ask her because she's like too pretty and she has 8,000 Instagram followers and I just don't know what to do. It could be whatever. I want you guys to write down 2 big giant actions that you could take. And just while you're doing that, don't let your Gretchens and your Berthas get in the way. Don't let them be like, nope, you're never going to do it. You're never going to make the phone call. Ignore them. Just write down 2 things that you could do. And I'll give you guys about a minute to do that. All right. So, same thing again. I'm going to start with Cass. Can you unmute yourself and just tell me what even one of them are, if you're okay with that?
So I said to do a live because I have not done a solo live
Perfect.
because my Bertha talks to me.
All right. So really quick, tell me why doing a live would be a big one-time action that could have a big impact to get you to these results. Tell me why you think that.
Because I think it would show my genuine passion for the products and that, you know, I care. It's more than just words. And it's something that I haven't done yet. And it's not to say that I would only do one live, but like I need to rip the Band-Aid off and do it. And I think it would have a better impact.
Yes, I love that because who knows how many people don't read big long posts, but they do watch lives, and you're one live away from that person that's going to be like, holy crap, I'm all in. Let's go diamond together, right?
Yep.
One live away. All right. Jen, if you're still with us, hun, you want to tell me one of yours?
Joining was one of mine. Being that I'm on maternity leave and not getting paid, I risked it and putting myself out there and being consistent every day.
I absolutely love that. And yes, joining, just starting. That is a huge one-time move that you can make that can fully change your entire life. So yes, I love that. All right, Rebecca, how about you, girl?
Reaching out to the people I'm too scared to.
Okay. Okay. Now tell me why reaching out, like tell me how that in your mind, like I want to know what you're thinking. How is that have the potential to get you to these results?
It could be that one person that wants the product and wants to go diamond.
Perfect, exactly. So you could reach out to that one girl who makes you terrified because she's pretty and skinny and popular and does like a million reels and like everyone loves her and whatever. And she could blow you off. Or she could be like, oh my gosh, I only poop once every 2 weeks. This is exactly what I needed. And she could fall in love with you and tell her like 20 million followers about it. And then boom, you're done. And that's literally the truth of it. I read this thing once and they were talking about people during the gold mining phase. And this one guy didn't know anything about gold mining, but he was like, I'm going to do it and I'm going to get rich. And he bought an area and started mining and whatever and figuring out all of the stuff. And he had found a little bit of gold at first, and it was just enough to keep him going, but it wasn't enough to like be rich, right? And finally, he had exhausted all of his money. He'd borrowed more money to keep going from everyone that he knew. He had no way to pay them back. And he was like, I'm just going to have to tell everyone that I failed, that I give up, and I'm going to have to work insanely hard for the rest of my life. And maybe if I'm lucky, before I die, I'll pay off my debt. And so he went into the town and he like put up his area for sale and whatever. And he had put a really cheap price on it because he was convinced that there was no gold there. Well, this guy who was like a poet or something, who knew nothing about gold mining at all, was like, So he hired a land engineer, this poet did, and he asked the land engineer, will you just come check out this piece of land because I'm considering buying it for gold mining and I want to know if it'd be a good investment. And the land engineer is like, holy crap, this is the prime spot. Yes, snatch it. And that's so cheap too. The guy did. He purchased it. He hired a crew 3 feet deep when they started digging. They struck an ore of gold, and it was back then millions of dollars, which now would be like trillions of dollars. 3 feet. So the first owner of that land stopped 3 feet from gold, ladies. What if you stopped 3 messages from diamond? I want you to think about that. When you're like, oh, this month has sucked. I've not gotten any sales. No one's replying. Everyone's leaving me on red. Someone's freaked out at me and blocked me and all of this stuff. And I just can't do it anymore. So I'm done for this month. Maybe next month I'll try again, but I don't know. What if you're 3 messages from gold? I really, really want you guys to think about that. What if it's literally the 3rd message that you sent today was the one that took you to the top? Because we never know. All right, Whitley. What you got?
Use social media the way I think about using it.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Like, so I feel like I have these ideas, like for instance, the Vegas that I sent you. So when I went to Vegas, girls, I took videos of my pink drink all over the strip and all over different places in Vegas. And I meant to make a reel, and then I just never did. Don't know why, just never did. And it's stuff like that. Like I think of stuff like that all the time, and then I just don't.
So what if someone
through.
would have been like, "Oh, this is really cool. I always forget to take my stuff on vacation with me, and this looks really easy. She's got it all over Vegas." And they're like, "Hey, I want to try what you're doing," and then boom, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. That's perfect. Okay, so moving on, guys. We all have a certain amount of potential, right? Potential is our next box up here. Your potential is what you can use to do your actions, and your actions are what you do to get your results, right? So your potential is like this. If I am only 4 feet tall, then my potential to play basketball against like 7 feet tall people and win probably isn't that great, right? Unless I'm part frog, because I mean, I just couldn't compete, right? But all of us, even with our different potentials, right, can sometimes surprise people. So if you're like, oh, my potential for public speaking is only this big, and my potential for doing things I'm afraid to do is like this big, and whatever else, right? That potential has been decided by our Gretchens and our Berthas, because if we are in our true self, well, what does God tell us? We're limitless, and we can literally do anything that we want to do, is what he tells us. So if we're going with that, we're not going to say, oh, because I'm only 4 feet tall, I shouldn't be playing basketball with the 7 feet tall people. If you're in your true self that God has created for you, you're going to be like, I don't care that I'm 4 feet tall, I can jump, right? And you might like go in between their legs and score a basket. You don't know. So that said, for your potential, I want you guys to write down, what would you tell yourself from your truest self, right? Not from Gretchen and Bertha. What would you tell yourself, or what would you tell one of us, each other, right? What would you tell your daughters, for those of you that have daughters? What would you say that would let yourself know that you have that limitless potential? I'm going to read to you guys what I wrote for mine to give you an idea, and then I'm going to put on some music and I'm going to let you guys go for it. I'm going to give you a little while because this can take a second, but I really want you to focus, okay? So here's what I said. Yahweh has given me the capacity to thrive through it all, whether it's pain, joy, confusion, doubt, heartbreak, or wonder. I welcome the wisdom that it all brings. I don't need to try to push things away or to try to fix everything. I can lean in and appreciate every single moment for the blessing that it is. Even if my flesh disagrees, I know that if I follow my truest self, I will uncover another layer of who I really am. And I don't want to miss out on anything that life is teaching me. So I will give every single day everything that I have, and I will be willing to learn the lesson even in the hard moments. So that is what I told myself that will keep me going, that pushes me. The only thing that can steal your potential, guys, is your Gretchen or your Bertha or whatever you named your ego. Because have you ever had a burglar break in and be like, where's your potential? Is it over here? Is it under the couch? Is it in your closet? Where's your potential, huh? No, that's not happening, right? So the only thing that can steal your potential, guys, is yourself. So do not let your Gretchen or your Bertha take your potential from you. I want you guys, I'm going to put on some music like I said. I want you guys to take a second and write down a statement, a poem, whatever you want to do. What can you tell yourself from that true self of you that is like, this is who I am. And even if it's hard, this is what I can do. So I'm going to put on some music and give us a second. I'm going to give you guys just about 30-ish more seconds. You can finish it later. If you don't finish it now, that's okay. And it's okay if when you're doing this, you feel a little bit emotional. Because I want you guys to imagine that your daughter has come to you and said, Mommy, I want to be a diamond, but I'm scared and I don't think I can do it. And I'm not pretty enough and I'm not smart enough and I'm not motivated enough. And I just can't. I want you to talk to yourself like you would tell your little girl looking at you saying, Mommy, I want to do this. Give you guys about 10 more seconds, just because this recording will cut us off if I don't. All right. So that is something I want you guys to finish later. And we're not going to discuss it right now just because I have a time limit for the recording. But I want you guys, once you get it all written out, either screenshot it or type it up and send it to me personally, because I want to see what you tell yourself about your potential. And we'll go more into why that is later. But last square, guys, we're going to call this our belief certainty square. And I want you guys to think about this as what things can you believe about yourself that you can be 100% certain of. These should always be empowering, and they should be those things that are going to come from that self of you that wrote your potential. So some things I wrote down, and you guys can start to write as I say things and you think of something, is this. I was created to thrive in this world. I love the saying of save your fork, the best is yet to come. So have you guys ever heard that at save your fork, which means like you eat your dinner, right? And someone's like, oh no, save your fork because I have dessert that you didn't know was coming and you're excited. So even in the hard times in life, like we've messaged 50 people and not one single person has replied, save your fork because dessert is coming. I love the idea that my spirit, because my spirit is connected to God, is all knowing. I love the idea that life can't go wrong because all things work for my good. I love the question to myself of like, what if it works? Like you get a new idea for a message and you're like, gosh, I'm already so tired today. I messaged like 20 people, haven't gotten a single reply. I went and searched around in one of the training groups and I found this interesting message. And what if it works? What if I just tried it with 3 people? What if it works? I also love the idea that if I can't, I must, which means every single time that someone is like, hey, do this, or hey, what about that, or whatever, and you're like, oh, I can't do that. If you catch yourself saying, I can't, I want you to turn that into, I must. So maybe you can't run a mile right now, but that means you must, which means you're going to start walking and then jogging and then running until you do that mile. And I want you to think about that with work. If you can't do it today, you must do it today. If you can't message one more person, then you must message one more person. If you can't make your team calls on Monday night, if you can't read a book, if you can't, whatever it is, you must do it. And I want you guys to consider challenging yourself with that. I want you to come up with something wild, something crazy. Cass, I want you to like do a live that's so funny where you start the live and they don't even see you in the camera and people go on it and they're like, what the heck is this? And then you're like, hey guys, have you heard about my pink drink? Like do something hilarious. Literally go crazy with it. I want you guys to push yourselves because what if it works? And then I want you guys to think about it like this, okay? If we take the beliefs that we're certain of, right? And we remember our potential and then we do our actions, we will get the results. And then if you take what you're certain of again and you remember your potential and you do the actions, you'll get results. And it will keep going and it will keep going and it will keep going and it will keep going. Because every single time we get a result, let's say you get a new join, right? Then you can be certain that you can find people to help. And if you're certain that you can find people to help, that increases the potential you think that you have, because now instead of only helping 3 people, I've helped 12 people. And holy crap, what action could I do next? And then that action is going to get you an even bigger result, like holy crap, I ranked up. And then ranking up is going to make you even more certain that you're capable of ranking up, and then that's going to increase your potential, and you're going to leave, holy crap, the statement is right, I am created to do anything that I want to do, and what action can I do next? And it's going to go and it's going to go and it's going to go, and it just feeds off from each other as long as we keep our Gretchens and Berthas out of it. Because this success cycle is a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it goes both ways. So if you're certain that you suck, then your potential is going to be like this. And then your actions are probably going to be non-existent. You're going to be like, well, it's 2:00 and I just woke up for the day and like, maybe I'll work tomorrow. Cause I mean, like whatever, right? Which means you're going to get no results, which means it's going to deplete your belief certainty, which means it's going to lower your potential, which means it's going to make you take even less action, which is going to give you even less results, which is going to lower your belief certainty even more. And it's just a vicious cycle. So if Gretchen or Bertha or whatever you guys named your ego pops up, tell her to get lost. She is lying, okay? Because Gretchen tells us that to get success, we need to be superhuman. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when you see successful people and you're like, oh, they get up at 4 a.m. and then they take a cold shower and then they run 17 miles and then they eat a protein shake and then they go to the sauna and then they do an hour of yoga and then they do all their work. But I can't do that because I have 32 kids and a job and a husband and church stuff and like whatever it is. You feel like we can't get there because it takes a superhuman person to get there. But guys, I am telling you that you're wrong. because the only thing that can steal your potential is yourself. Having babies and waking up early anyways, even if it's only 30 minutes before they're up, because that's the best time for you to write your posts and get your messages sent out, to be sure that your work is done every day so that that stress can be off you. I did my IPA by 9 a.m. I'm good. And if I get to do any extra, then cool. But if not, I did it, because taking that action is going to get you a result, and getting a result is going to increase your belief certainty, which is going to increase your potential, which is going to make you take bigger actions. And it just keeps going, guys. So just a quick reminder before this cuts me off, I want you each to write out your potential statement. I can send you like a screenshot or something of mine if you guys want to like have that for review to go off from. I'd like you all to send them to me. I'd like all of your feedback, but I have 1 minute and 20 seconds before it cuts me off. So I just want to say this to end it, okay, guys? Life is happening for us. It is not happening to us. It is happening for us. Because I do not believe that we were created and put here just to suffer through a bunch of crap. I think we were put here for a blessing. I think being here is a gift, okay? Without momentum, we perish. That momentum that keeps going and going and going and spinning, like I showed you guys back there, is in our full control. So I'm going to let you go because this is going to cut me off. I love you all dearly. I can't wait for you to send me your potential statements. I will send you the recording of this. If anyone has any questions or you just need to talk about it more in depth, I'm always here for you guys. And bye.